Munugode Bypoll in Telangana being dubbed by many as perhaps India's costliest election. I have with me the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Vikas. People say not just India's but world's costliest. That's what one of the candidates said to me.
I don't know about that, but yes, there was a lot of acquisitions, counter acquisitions, and a lot of press reports, a lot of seizures also. So we have probably put a record number of teams there from our side also to bring this under control and seizures and all. So yes, it was a lot of work in last 1 month.
What is the kind of amounts that you have seized? I know that there was seizure outside of the Munugode area, which perhaps would not come under your model code of conduct. But what is the kind numbers that you have?
Correct. So we have about total all put together about 8.02 crores as on today morning. That includes cash, that includes some gold that was caught, and that also includes some sari and some other materials which was there. So a plus, of course, a little bit of in terms of value, liquor may not be much, but that's about 5,000 liters of liquor.
Yeah, but the flow of liquor would have been so much more than that.
I mean, just to give you an idea of that, we have closed about 111 belt shops, and the teams were basically looking at liquor wherever they could. I mean, in the sense of any small shops also they were looking, and many of those places also they were able to find. Many of the times the fellow ran away, leaving behind the things. Many things being carried in two-wheelers, four-wheelers also was caught. So phenomenal amount of liquor has also been caught. In fact, the number of teams was very high. 128 people were deployed in the district to exclusively look at this liquor flow and to arrest it. So we have been doing our best.
Okay. In terms of deployment, police deployment, state police as well as central forces, I'm sure this is a big number. But the inducements, the voters themselves keep telling us that pehle 500 होता था, 1000 होता था, अब तो 20,000 की बात है. What is your own comment on it? They say 20,000 for a single vote.
I mean, see, my own, I did go to villages. I spoke to the voters also. They say, no, nothing like that is happening.
And has any of it taken a digital form as well? Because physical money is easily visible.
We did get some paper reports initially that there could be digital movement, but then intelligence does not say that. Our intelligence does not say that the movement will be on digital platform.
In terms of deployment of police force and sensitive booths and so on, because in the run-up also, we have seen quite a few face-to-face clashes almost, and they're kind of coming to blows.
Only yesterday. That was the only incident. Unfortunately, it was the last day and the last few hours of the campaigning. So probably because of a little bit of hurry, probably they crossed their paths and then it went out of control. Of course, police was there, and then immediately further police came also came, and within half an hour it was all controlled. But yes, there were some clashes yesterday. But that's the only isolated incident.
But there were accusations that were traded by the opposing parties here, parties of the candidates. What are the cases specifically that you have booked? Because the TRS has also made its complaints and BJP has made its complaints.
Oh yes, we had more than 500 complaints that came to us, to the district. And we have been able to inquire into all of them, because we had about 51 teams which were exclusively pressed into this. They were teams which were having revenue people, they were having police people, they were all having cameras, and these cameras were centrally controlled. Controlled through a SIM, and from a central control room we were able to see what exactly they were doing. So there were not much of scope for people to do any hanky-panky in that. So it was through this that we were able to do the corrective actions in that. Just to give you an idea, about till yesterday about 185 cases were booked, and the arrests were somewhere around 90 arrests were made till yesterday.
There was this campaign against one of the candidates talking about 18,000 crore in lieu of which he jumped parties. That doesn't come within the scope of your election regulation per se?
No, obviously not. Some party had made a complaint and we had forwarded it to ECI, but that's basically beyond the purview of the elections, to my understanding.
Okay, and that 5.22 crore that was said to have been pass through some bank accounts.
That again, that complaint was made to ECI, and they had a look at whatever was the proof. But the order given by ECI is that the proof given is not sufficient. And however, they said that whatever machinery we have, like our election expenditure people and expenditure observer and other parties which are there, to keep a look on any of this money actually getting onto the field.
Finally, because this has become a very much watched election, let me put it that way, have you put in place any special measures, anything new that you're introducing in these elections?
Oh, multiple of them. Of course, in terms of number of teams that have been deployed, as against, just to give you an idea, the election commission says that minimum of 3 monitoring model code of conduct teams should be there. We had 14. Similarly, there were supposed to be flying squads, again minimum 3. We are again having 14 because 7 mandals, so 2 per mandal. So that is the type of extra measures that we had. In addition to that, we basically had 2 election expenditure observers which came, we had a team of 7 officers from the IT department which came. We specifically put GST team there which was looking at it. In addition to that, all the cameras that I was just mentioning with our flying squads and the video surveillance teams, and even the static nakas that were there at the boundaries of the constituency, they were all having cameras which were having SIM cards, and all of them were being monitored from a central location. In fact, we had invited the political parties and the candidates also to send their own people, so that transparency is there and they can see that whatever is being done in a very transparent way.
This kind of much watched with CCTV, is this kind of unprecedented, or does it happen routinely?
I don't think it happened, not at least in our state. It has not happened earlier. So this time when we were trying to do even the webcasting and these cameras also.
What are the kind of numbers when you're saying CCTVs? I did notice that where these checks were happening, there were CCTVs fitted there.
We had 48 such CCTVs which were, including the one that were mobile ones. So 48 ones which are being monitored. And of course, tomorrow, all the 298 polling stations will be having webcasting, and that webcasting will be seen not only in the central control room of the district. We will be also having a control room where we will be able to see all of them, and we have given the link to the ECI also. They can also see if they want to. So it will be basically on air.
Okay.
Not available for public, but it is available for yes.
Thank you so much, and best wishes for the election. So much watched election that not just Telangana perhaps, but the entire country would be watching closely. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV. We are inside the control room of the Chief Electoral Officer of Telangana at a time when the Munugode Bypoll, which has been dubbed as India's most expensive election, is being conducted. What you see monitors there is that for the first time, there is 100% webcasting of every polling booth in Telangana. Each of those cameras will be observed through all these screens. 298 polling booths is what we are talking about, and in real time there is a team here which is monitoring what's happening in each of these places. And for the first time, not just 100% webcasting, but also 100% micro observers and 100% deployment of central forces in addition to the state police to try and ensure that the process is smooth, fair and transparent. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.